Hi, I'm Rachel, and this is my 2024 Quarter 4 BookTube Spin TBR game. The BookTube Spin was brought to BookTube by Rick McDonnell. I believe he based it off of a game that was played on literary blogs, where you create a list of 20 books, usually in 4 categories, and once you create that list, you roll the spinny wheel, as you do, and you read the book that you land on, and that's the point of the game. I've gone ahead and I've been playing this game multiple times, 4 times a year, once each quarter, and I've kind of made it my own. I have 4 categories for my 20 books that have been unchanging for a while. I start with Jewish romance, I go into general literature, then science fiction, and then fantasy. And I spin my wheel 3 times, and the book I read is the one I read from least recently in the game. So if you look over here, you'll see that what I read from least recently is fantasy. In fact, I even tried to get fantasy last quarter and wasn't able to, so I'm really hoping to get it this quarter. And if I don't get it, I guess I'm hoping I'll get general literature, but I'm really hoping for fantasy. Another thing I've decided to do, which is pressing my thumb to the scale, is that I've been eliminating the numbers that I landed on each of the quarters this year. Actually I'll be playing with 17 numbers this quarter rather than 20, which is my small way to stand up against, the, extreme chance of what this game is. I mean, where you have absolutely no control anyway. So I've taken a little bit of it back. My next BookTube Spin game will be in 2025. Believe it or not, I feel like I can't believe it. And I might go back to, the full 20 for that one. Probably I will. And I'll also, at the end of my spins, do an audience spin if you'd like to play with all 20 numbers. But yeah, that's the gist of it. And before I get into my spins, I would like to share my reading list with you. So without further ado. Starting with Jewish romance, number 1 is Imogen Obviously by Becky Albertalli. This is YA romance with nominally Jewish characters. Imogen, a senior in high school, thinks she's a straight LGBTQ ally, but when new relationships have her questioning her sexual identity, she's accused of identity appropriation. This seems like a kind of hard-hitting about policing others in the name of social justice. Book number 2 I'm nixing because it was my quarter 2 pick. Book number 3 is Recommended for You by Laura Silverman. Bookseller Shoshana is gunning for a holiday bonus, but the only thing standing in her way is annoying, non-literary, hot Jewish bachelor, Jake Kaplan. I think we know where this goes. Number 4 is The Matzo Ball by Jean Metzler. Rachel Rubenstein Goldblatt has made a name for herself writing Christmas romances, but now her publisher wants a diverse book about Hanukkah. So Rachel attends a famous winter Jewish singles event, the Matzo Ball, where she sees her old camp archenemy, Jacob Greenberg. But it's been a long time since camp, just saying. And number 5 is Meant to Be Mine by Hannah Orenstein. Edie's grandmother Gloria predicted the exact date Edie would meet her beshert, Yiddish for soulmate. But although Edie meets an attractive musician at the right time, she finds out that predetermination isn't as simple a concept as she believed. What if a relationship includes some rocky waters as well? Now I'm in general literature with number 6, Cowboys and East Indians, short stories by Nina McConley. They're centering on immigrants and cultural collisions in the American West as seen through the eyes of outsiders. And I gotta appreciate this title too. Number 7 is The Island of Missing Trees by Elif Shafak. Spanning several decades, we start with an illicit love affair between a Greek Cypriot and a Turkish Cypriot. We follow war and displacement and commentary on the natural world. Number 8 is Search by Michelle Hunevin. A food writer joins her church's search committee for a new minister, leading to humorous ruminations on the inanities of church politics. I kind of want the Jewish version of this, just saying. Also, there's recipes. Number 9 is The Other Westmore by Wes Moore. My governor, a successful black American, tracks down an imprisoned drug dealer who shares his name, age, roughly, and city of origin. This is a testament to what helps kids succeed and fail. And then I'm nixing number 10 as my quarter one pick. Now into science fiction with number 11, Provenance by Anne Leckie. A fugitive looks to reclaim stolen treasure in space and finds herself embroiled in an alien plot, literally. Number 12 is Ancestral Night by Elizabeth Bear. A routine salvage mission in space goes awry when an ancient technology is uncovered. Number 13 is Pushing Ice by Alistair Reynolds. A rockhopper crew is tasked with tailing one of Saturn's moons as it breaks orbit and leaves the solar system. Number 14 I'm nixing as my quarter three pick. And then number 15 is On the Edge of Gone by Corinne Doivas. As a comet moves to strike Earth, our teenage protagonist fights against an unjust system to survive. And finally, we're moving into fantasy with Fingers Crossed, and number 16 is A Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula Le Guin. This is a YA classic about a young sorcerer who tampered with long-held secrets and unleashed a terrible shadow onto the world. Number 17 is The Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons. A man discovers his fate is tied up with that of an empire, and he may be here not to save the world, but to destroy it. Number 18 is The Vanished Queen by Elizabeth Campbell. A woman vows to take down a despotic king and, surprise, surprise, finds herself embroiled in court politics. Number 19 is A Queen in Hiding by Sarah Kozloff. An orphaned princess becomes a guerrilla fighter and must assemble a group of rebels to take back the kingdom. And finally, number 20 is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. A young peasant girl discovers she has an unearthly power, but the war she fights for her god might cost her her humanity. Okay, and here we get to the spins, starting with spin number 1. And it looks like the gods, the fantasy gods, have finally smiled on me this quarter as I get number 18, which is The Vanished Queen by Elizabeth Campbell. I am so excited, but I still feel like I should spin 2 more times and, keep the game going. If I land on another fantasy, I'll have to figure out which one to choose, but we're going to keep going on from here. So here is spin number 2. And spin number 2 is number 5, which is in my Jewish romance section, Meant to Be Mine, so I will not be reading that one. I am moving on to my third and final spin, spin number 3. And 15 is in science fiction, which I just read from that category last quarter. This is On the Edge of Gone by Corinne Doivas, which will stay on my list for now because I finally got a fantasy pick. I'm so excited, and I will be reading The Vanished Queen by Elizabeth Campbell, which I probably found out about through Book Riot years and years ago now, so I'm so excited to finally give it a go. And finally, as promised, here is the audience spin with all 20 numbers. So here we go. All right, well, we have lucky or unlucky number 13. Hoping it's a lucky one for you and you enjoy whatever you put on your list for that. And that about covers it for me now. I will leave links to all of the books I mentioned down below in case you'd like to learn more about them. And I'll also have a link to my TBR Games playlist. And in that vein, expect me back here on this channel imminently where I will play my page 112 tag TBR game, my monthly TBR game, where I choose 3 books at random from my physical shelves and add one of them to my TBR based on the content of page 112. At least that's how I'm supposed to be playing. And I hope you are all enjoying what you are reading this month, and if you play spontaneous TBR games, you've gotten the genres and titles that you hoped for. And thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.